going? Okay, welcome. This is our how to start teaching yoga or whatever else you teach online. And that comes in a variety of ways. And as a reminder, maybe you've heard this before, if somebody tells you there's only one right way to do something, they're trying to sell you something. So if they say Zoom classes are dead, you shouldn't do that. Or nope, don't do a membership, that doesn't work. They're trying to sell you on their own program. Now, I will give you an invite to work with me, but I'm not the person that's going to tell you there's only one right way, because there are many paths to the same place, just like there's many paths to enlightenment. So lots of different yoga styles, lots of different modalities as far as fitness goes. Same thing when it comes to teaching online and business growth. And we'll cover some of those options here today. And as we do that, again, get the chat open. We've got people from Europe, Romania, Chicago, Canada, Hungary, and Miami, all over the place. And I am in the Seattle area or Washington State, so the Pacific Coast time. And so far it's a pretty nice day. Sometimes the sun comes in these blinds and I'll get lines, but I'm going to be sharing my screen and we're just going to get right to it. The other thing that I just made for you guys is I made a workbook. So I didn't share it with you in email, so I'm gonna open the chat and put the link to the workbook in there if you would like to download it. And if you are watching the replay, I'll make sure that the workbook is linked in the replay or in the email that I send you in the replay. So it's just a simple workbook that can walk you through some of the things. I made it black and white for the most part so you can easily print it. Some of us are still into printed materials. I know I am. Sometimes it's nice to have pen and paper to write things down, or just using it as prompts for yourself. So if you have a notebook and a pen and pencil, that's awesome. Take some notes. The other thing I'm going to say is if you are distracted during this, I welcome that. Go ahead. I'm not going to tell you that you need to be highly focused, put all your distractions away, leave everything aside, lock your kids in the room, get rid of your pets. No. I know how it is. I sometimes am watching trainings like this or listening in as I'm on a walk, or even while I'm driving, I'll be listening in, or even grocery shopping. I've been on calls like this. So unless you really want to focus and you want to get those questions answered, then it's up to you. And the replay is going to be there for you too. So if you can only get through part of this today, I don't know how long we'll go, but if you can only get through part, come back to it later. All right. Let's start teaching yoga online, or yoga or fitness or whatever you want to teach, as long as you're a service-based wellness coach type person. And I would love to hear from you. What is it that you teach? Is it yoga? Is it something else? So I can give you examples for that. What type of yoga do you teach? And the reason that I'm sharing this today and I do these presentations is these are the types of answers I receive when people join my Facebook group, Yoga Business and Online Teaching Tips. So business and online teaching. When people join that, and I get new members every single day, the main thing I hear is people struggle with getting started, not knowing the how-tos, having a studio but struggling to get online classes, teaching in person but not knowing how to do the online portion, and never teaching online, so I don't know where to get started. Maybe I'm thinking about it, all of these things. So you might fall into this category too, of this, I don't really know where to start. Or maybe you know a few options of where to start, but you don't know the best way to start. Now again, there is no right way, there's no best way, there's a bunch of ways, but for you, what does that look like? And even more comments. So these were just a few screenshots that I took, I think a couple weeks ago, and this is not uncommon. There are over 6,000 members in that group, and most people have said that they're struggling with getting started. I would say at least like 75% of people. Others have said other things, but mostly it's how do I get started? And that's what I've also heard from those that I've worked with, is they just needed a starting point. So we have a few of you guys teaching yoga, Pilates, and bar, Hatha yoga for beginners, yoga, somatic movement, and chair yoga and dance. Awesome. So a good variety of things here, all centered around sort of that like yoga styles or movement patterns of some kind. So movement modalities. Cool. So what we're going to cover today is what you absolutely need to teach online to get started. The 5-step framework for growing your online business. And if you've downloaded the workbook, you'll see it's the ASHES method. And then any mistakes that hold you back, I'm going to answer any questions too, because we've got this nice small group on, easy to do that. How to actually get people to join your classes. This is the second thing after how to get started is how do I get more people? How do I get clients? How do I promote on social media or otherwise? And then I will share some details to how to work with me, and that is in an online membership. So I do have a membership called Ash's Academy, and I'm just gonna lay it out there because I don't like keeping secrets. I don't like keeping secrets on how much things cost or trying to trick anybody into anything. And I do want you to take your time in thinking about it. My membership is low cost. It's a low price membership. It is not a high ticket offer. And I work with groups every single week in our coaching calls and in all the courses, but more details on that later. If all you took from this was the first portion where we're talking about how to do this and then you went out and did it on your own, I think that's awesome. So I just want to give you permission to not feel like you're being sold to today. I just love teaching this stuff. I want people to benefit from this, and especially the power of the internet. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Ashley. Maybe some of you have found me from my YouTube channel. Maybe you're in my Facebook group where I promoted this. Perhaps you are on my Instagram. I think the main place that I've promoted it is Instagram and Facebook. So I don't know how we found each other, but I'm glad you're here. I am a yoga teacher. I do teach yoga online still every single weekday morning. Okay, Monday through Thursday. I take Fridays off. And I teach online business to yoga teachers and to wellness professionals. I am the founder of my business, my own business, Ash's Yoga and Ash's Academy, my membership. I like to say that I'm a tech simplifier. I love teaching the step-by-step and implementation of all of this. The mindset stuff will come, I'm getting there, but when you take action, I believe that mindset shift does happen. So I want you to take action. And you can find me anywhere online at Ash's Yoga. And most important, I've got 2 little children, so they are my world, they are everything. I just dropped off my littlest at daycare, so now I'm here and I'm like, I'm ready, let's do this. So they went to school, but I still don't have tons of time. If you're a parent or if you have any other responsibilities, we're all very busy. And I know that the biggest barrier to starting an online business a lot of times is time. It could be money, but also time. Do I have enough time to devote to this? Is this something that I can do, or is it going to be overwhelming? So today I'm sharing some shortcuts and time-saving solutions, and I'm glad you're here. Just a little bit more about my journey. I don't want to go too in depth in this, but if you haven't heard or we haven't met before, I started as a yoga teacher, graphic designer. I worked in the marketing department. My dream was to combine my passion for yoga and my skills as a graphic designer in marketing together. And that's exactly what I've done with my life. And I love it. Not saying you have to take that path, but I'm here to share with you some of those simple things to help you out, to get you started. So I started as a graphic designer, and then I left that job to teach a lot of classes. I thought being a full-time yoga teacher meant retreats and travel and barefoot and free-spirited. That's what I saw on Instagram, at least, or online. When reality was I was jumping from class to class, 15 to 20 classes a week, tons of workshops. I was working really hard for like half the pay. And I knew at one point, I knew I wanted to do something online because it was more sustainable, but it was still kind of new. It was new to all of us back in 2013. It was in the back of my mind though. And eventually I'd get there, but it took a while. I moved away across the country, Minnesota to Washington, with $0. Okay, I had a couple $1,000s, but it did not last very long. I moved across the country, met a man, and 2 months later, I got pregnant, so I had a baby, and that totally shook my world in 2018, more than the pandemic did in 2020. So figuring out how to teach online when I was in a remote area, not sure what I was going to do with my life, was going to become a mom soon with someone I hardly knew. And I decided to devote most of my time to let's get this online thing going. So now, and I have owned a yoga studio too. So that back in 2019 to 2021, pandemic times, great time to own a studio, right? Well, I could have kept that studio going, but I decided because I was back to teaching online, which I actually love doing, I wanted to do that path instead. So I left the studio life behind. Still a great path. Not saying it's not. but now I teach primarily online. And now I'm more of an online business coach. I did teach a lot of yoga online, and I still do. I taught yoga sequencing. I taught yoga teachers different techniques, and not just yoga teachers, but students as well. So it's not just yoga teachers teaching yoga teachers, just so you know. And that's not how I started, but it's what I'm leaning into because it's been a few years now and I've found some shortcuts for you. So I like to support yoga teachers and wellness coaches with the digital aspect of your business. Yay! So it was about 10 years ago, 2016, that I really went all in on learning how to grow an online business. And when I say all in, I'll be honest, it was probably more like 80-20. So I go all like 80% in, and then 20% I'm like, it's okay. I didn't follow all the directions, but it's still better than 0%. So I went mostly in on building an online business, which is why it took me a few years. And now I can confidently say, I love my life. I mean, I did back then too, but I'm at a place where I'm very content. And that was always the goal, is I want to be content. I don't want to feel like I'm constantly striving or hustling. And I want that for you too, to feel content and saying, this is good. I like this life. And that might mean traveling. It might mean raising your kids or not having daycare, whatever it means. There's so much that it could mean for you. And it doesn't mean always just barefoot, free-spirited, and hosting retreats, although that is an option. Everyone's gonna come to this place differently, and you have to tap into that reason why. Is it because you live split in two different places half the year? Is it because you are a new parent? Is it because you do want to travel the world? There's a lot of options out there, and you can decide what that deeper reason and meaning is for you. And that meaning has to be deeper and more personal than just, I want to help people, because we all want to help people. That's great. But what does it deeply mean for you? For me, it's planning trips without hesitation, whether it's for business or personal or travel or fun. Diving into other hobbies without needing to turn it into a job. I've been a local CrossFit connoisseur. I've been going to the CrossFit gym, and in the past I would think, well, how can I teach, or how can I do a pop-up class? How can I make this a job? But I don't have to do that anymore. And then I get to work from home, comfort in my home, while my kids are still around as needed. Sometimes they're sleeping when I'm working, sometimes they're watching cartoons, and sometimes I just decide to work when they're at school, most of the time actually. And the biggest thing that creating an online business has done for me is given me something else to focus on, something to build and grow and put my energy towards besides fighting, besides negativity. Because as a co-parent, so that means week on, week off, 50-50 with my kids, as a co-parent, there can be a lot of drama there. And I've really eliminated that by saying, you know what, you do what you're gonna do. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, as if I had my children 100% of the time, and focus on growing my business and supporting them rather than fighting court battles and all that kind of stuff. So it really can make a huge difference when you have this option to grow beyond what is this? Time for dollars? Time for dollars. That's what online can give to you. So I'm not fancy, and you don't have to be either. I'm not doing anything extra fancy, and I might be a little more tech savvy. I might have a little more excitement for this kind of stuff. Maybe I'm more excited about teaching online than most yoga teachers are. But the fact is, I'm still just like a solo business owner, single, small town mom doing her best. I live in a small town, not tiny, but small. So it's about 12,000 people. And there's not a whole lot of yoga studios around here. And I don't really want to create my own right now again. So this is one of the best options. So when you decide to go all in, or at least partially in, or dip your toes in, let's try this out, things will change, and they can. You get to decide how fast. So let's talk about online teaching. Let's get into it. So we think teaching online looks something like this, like you're recording yourself doing poses, right? You're talking maybe as you're doing it, or maybe it's a voiceover, just video yoga. That's what it's common. If you say, oh, I teach online yoga, in our minds, we think, oh, so you make yoga videos. Do you have any that I could see? Maybe, and then you might go, wait a second, maybe I don't. But a lot of people might associate I teach online with video yoga practices. Or it's something like this where it's hybrid style classes. This was an old screenshot I took from a Yoga Glow or glow.com class where it was a teacher teaching with students around her, but also recorded at the same time. So that's also what we think, oh, that's online yoga. But it's really not limited to yoga. And I think we have to get out of that box of thinking it's just video. Video is great, but it's not the only thing you can do. So these are a few of the things that I've created in the past, especially as I was getting into helping people with yoga sequencing. So I went an offshoot of yoga into yoga sequencing and class planning just because that was something that excited me. I thought it was fun. I created my own little 10-step method, and then I created infographics, an ebook, and mini courses along with that. And rarely did any of these actually have any, I mean, the course has videos with it, but not necessarily yoga teaching videos. Now, you definitely can create yoga teaching videos, and if you want to teach online or on video, we'll get to that, but I also want to share that it can be simpler. You can create infographics, PDFs, ebooks. This was an ebook that I created in 2018. This is not a recommendation for 2026, just because there's so much content and information out there that ebooks that are longer, we're a little bit more, we want things a little bit quicker. So an ebook that's 100 pages like this one was, maybe not the best thing to do right now, but back then that was a great start. And it was something I sold for $27. And every time I made a sale, it was one class I didn't have to teach. Now I love teaching again, but I didn't have a lot of opportunities to teach in person. And if I did 10 to 15 classes a week, it's still not quite enough for a full-time job or to make the amount of money I needed. So having something additional like a $27 ebook, or maybe it's a $35 mini course, can be really helpful. With each sale you get, that's a class you didn't have to drive into and teach. And way less exhausting, right? So I had made almost $8,000 in a time that I couldn't really teach a whole lot online. So if you do want to teach on video, let's talk about it. If you do want to teach on video, yes, anybody? Yes, we do. Here are the things we want to think about. And whether this is on Zoom or pre-recorded or live stream elsewhere on social media, you want to consider if they can see you. Can they see you clearly? Can they hear you? And is it easy for you? One of the best things you can do is just start with your phone. Your phone has a microphone in it, has a great camera, especially the back-facing camera. And you prop it up maybe on a box or a chair and step back and you can teach, or you can just talk to the camera. If you say, I don't have a lot of space, that's a very common excuse. Yes, it's an excuse because you can teach from anywhere with just your voice. It doesn't even have to be video. People make podcasts all the time, podcasts and audio programs, and having just your phone is a great starting point to get you going to take action. So what do you have for a recording device? I personally like using my computer just because it feels more, everything's just on my computer. It's something I'm used to. Some people like using their phone or an iPad. What's your camera? Is it your internal phone camera? I like using a webcam. I've got the Logitech Brio, and I'm still using the one from 5 years ago, the older one. These are all listed in the workbook. I do have my Amazon shop page if you want to check them out. And then a microphone. My favorite currently is a Rode Wireless Micro. It's like $100, I think. It comes with 2 microphones and it just plugs right into my computer or my phone. And then I've got some lighting. Lighting is something you can do with just a window light. Window light's great on a non-super sunny day. So if it's a little cloudy, overcast, or you're not getting lots of shadows, window light's awesome, or we might find other lighting available to us. So if equipment is your question, I've got a bunch of YouTube videos on the old YouTube channel about equipment. So if you go to YouTube and search Ashley Hagen or Ash's Yoga, I'm going to show up because I've reached now 37,000 subscribers, which is awesome. So go ahead and subscribe to that first, but you can also search within my channel. If you use the search bar, you can look for microphones, you can look at the playlist for microphones. I do talk about lighting, and a lot of them might be a few years old, but if I haven't updated it, I'm using the same equipment. I'm still using the ring light I have. I'm still using these LED wand lights that I have. So if equipment is your struggle or your question, you can start there, but honestly, Start with what you have. Don't let this be an excuse to procrastination. I think I started with a really old webcam and my computer. And I used to record classes with an old camera in a very echoey house without a microphone. And I had wished I would have had microphones. They didn't have them back in 2018. Wireless microphones were not a thing. And if they were, it was like $1,000. They were really expensive and they were bulky and just time consuming. So they don't, now it's so easy and way cheaper. So even starting without anything, just get started, get you the momentum going. That's what we're going to talk about first too. So as we get into the ASHES method, the 5-step framework, 5-part framework for online business building, the first one is action. We've got to take action. So here's the framework in little small terms, or just like an overview of it. Action, systems, hype, elevate, and scale. We're going to take a deep breath. Maybe take a drink of water. Gotta stay hydrated, take care of yourself. So now we're really getting into the actual content of building a business. We talked a little bit about equipment, and I'm, just saying, hey, you've got what you need. You probably do. If you're on this recording or watching this on a device, you probably have plenty of what you need. Let's talk about how to take action first. So action is the first step. And over the years, my ASHES system, ASHES, has changed to different words. And what I've learned from working with a lot of people since then is a lot of us just pause. We get our yoga teacher training and then we say, okay, let's just sit on that. And what are we going to, we wait for a sign. We wait for motivation. We wait for something to draw us in to say, okay, now's the time. We wait to feel ready. And if you were unaware, if you haven't taught a yoga class yet, or maybe think back to when you first taught a class, you're not going to feel ready. You're never going to feel ready the first time you do something. If you did, you would have already done it. So in action-taking mode, we're deciding to commit. Maybe all in or mostly in. Again, 80% is great. Leave the 20% out, but mostly commit to something. Act like a business and also plan ahead. Visualize what it is that you actually do want. I do have some people coming into my membership and say, well, I don't know my goals. I don't know what I want to build. I'm like, oh, okay, let's create a goal. So this is like goal setting, deciding to commit, and taking small actions that move you forward. A big mistake I see people making is relying on motivation, saying, I will do this as soon as I'm ready. I'm going to teach online when I'm ready, when I've got an audience, when something happens, just like the conditional happiness. I'll be happy when this happens. I'll be happy as soon as I reach this milestone. I'll be happy here, or I'll be ready. I will know when I'm ready. And that's just going to keep us stuck. Sometimes you got to do things when you don't feel like it. So let's get out of that and not just take action when we feel like it. Motivation is a lie. It's not going to get you started. Well, it might get you started. The motivation as in like excitement, but motivation to continue doesn't come from continued excitement. It comes from the discipline of continuing to do something, of showing up. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have good days. Build your discipline to keep going and take action every day. The first year that I taught my online classes back in pandemic days, I taught my 6 a.m. morning movement and meditation class for 10 months with 0 to 2 people. And that was when like everybody was online taking classes. And I still would show up to no-show classes many mornings because I wasn't talking about it. But what I did do is I continued to show up. I continued to show up until I felt like, okay, now I really do want to talk about this. I want to invite people because I am actually deciding to commit to it. Back then in the first year or so, I wasn't committed to it. I showed up, but I didn't know if I wanted to continue, and that energy was being shown through by the fact that I wouldn't talk about it. So all I had to do was talk about it, and then I was getting 10 to 20 people regularly. So taking action, and that might just mean doing that daily practice. Inside of my programs and a lot of in my membership, I have these daily business trackers, or I have different trackers and checkboxes. Sometimes that really helps people. I also have a paper planner that I use, that I give myself like 3 tasks a day. So treating yourself like a business, acting like this is something that we're going to do, regardless if we feel like it. okay? And I know I want to feel rainbows and sunshine. Building a business is not necessarily going to feel like your yoga practice. Like, I love practicing yoga. I want to practice yoga all day. Awesome. Teaching yoga and building a business are different levels, different steps, not next levels, just different than your yoga practice. So sometimes it takes this little like, let's just check some boxes. And then at the top of this tracker is always your personal practice. So make sure you're doing your yoga and your meditation. And then there's other things there. I just want to share that I'm very much like a checklist, step-by-step type person. That's what I want to help you with too. So I got a pop quiz for you. Pop quiz time. Did you know? Did you know we got a pop quiz? I know. Did you study? You better have studied hard. Okay. These are the 3 questions. 3 questions you're going to ask that I'm going to ask you. You can answer them honestly, or what do you think? 2 of them have a right and wrong, and 1 of them is a question about you. But the first one, who's going to teach a better class in 100 days? Is it the teacher, A, who teaches 1 mediocre average, just show up class every day for 100 days? Or is it teacher B, who doesn't teach until day 100, but they get 100 days to prepare? Whatever that means, education, watching videos, practicing cueing, that kind of thing. They get 100 days to prepare for the perfect class, but not actually teach to people. Who will have a better class? Yes, look at these smarty pants. Teacher A, most likely. This is kind of like that, what is the parable or the story of the pottery? It's the ceramic pot. You have 2 groups of pottery people. One makes it 1 clay pot every day for 100 days, and one gets 100 days to make the perfect clay pot, where the group that does 100 pots, 1 a day, will have a much better clay pot, even at day like 75 compared to that 1 that someone had to make. And I like that example too, because my twin sister is, she does clay stuff. What is it called? She's a potter? She's into ceramics, okay? She makes mugs. She makes cat mugs and pug mugs. They're so cute. But I can tell that hers have really improved because she makes a lot of them. It's not just going for that 1 perfect mug. Okay. Second question. Who is most likely to earn more money as a business, as a yoga teacher? Teacher C, we're going to go C and D here. Teacher C, 500-hour invest in advanced yoga trainings, maybe yoga therapy certified, does a lot of yoga trainings, goes to all the events and workshops, and knows a lot. Or teacher D is 200-hour certified, goes to a few trainings, here and there, but not as many, invests in business and marketing skills so they can enhance their business. I mean, this is kind of obvious, right? Yep, it's going to be teacher D, exactly. Yep. Bianca got it right. Sophia got it right, yes. Teacher D, the one that regardless of how much education you have in the topic, the person that's 200-hour certified maybe also has a lot of life experience, or they have experience as a teacher elsewhere. But if you just do the thing, the yoga, or you just are learning about all of that without learning marketing, business, it's going to be obviously it's going to be a detriment to building a business if that's what you're trying to create. And as we get into the 4th one, where it's about elevate, it's really treating yourself like a business. And then the third question is going to be all over the place for all of you. So I'd love an answer from you too. How many scrappy, imperfect videos, not just yoga videos, but videos in general, maybe it's Instagram Reels or whatever, have you recorded and published? How many videos have you put yourself on? Have you put yourself into? Maybe it's a talking video, maybe it's a yoga practice. We've got, okay, I don't know if those D's were from before. So I see A. Oh, we've got A's, good. We've got a lot of people who are over 50. We've got B, 10 to 50. Awesome, a B, 10 to 50, cool. So those of you who have done over 50, that's amazing, and congrats on that. And let's keep talking, because you're still gonna benefit from hearing about this, all of this stuff. But if you are someone who's saying, I don't know how to get started, that second mistake I'm gonna talk about, I don't know how to start, and you're using that as a procrastination method, your starting point is right here. You're going to take action, whether it is posting to social media or just creating videos or showing up on Zoom with 0 people. showing up anyway, doing the thing that you want to do, acting as if you've got an audience of 1,000 people. What would a person who has a business with 1,000 emails on your email list do? Even if you have, let's talk email list building or email sending. If you send an email newsletter every month, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you had 1,000 people, I guarantee you'd want to be sending at least a monthly newsletter. So why are you not doing that right now with 2 or 3 people? So you want to dress for the job that you want. You want to act as if you are in that place. Burley is here. Mia, haha, I haven't posted anything. Okay, here you go. Now, if you need to end here and that's it, you're like, I just can be on for 30 minutes, that's it. Here's your starting point. I know, there's a lot of mindset stuff that goes with this too, but what I find is that action creates more confidence rather than trying to build the confidence to take action. So flip-flop that. We're not building confidence to take action, we're taking action to build the confidence. Flippy-flop, mindset shift, there you go. So start here. What does that mean? It looks different for everybody. Other coaches are going to tell you, you have to post Instagram Reels. You got to be on YouTube. You got to do this. You got to do that. You get to choose. You get to choose. And when we get to part 3 or hype, we're going to talk about promotions and marketing too. But what does it mean to act like a business? This is both the action phase and also in E for elevate. So it's in both. But acting like a business, I'm going to give you a visual here. It's like an umbrella. It's like an umbrella. A lot of us love what we do, love what we teach. But acting like a business involves a different shift, a shift in ourselves, the way that we show up. So imagine this umbrella. This is an umbrella business concept. It's raining. I mean, I'm in Washington, the PNW, Pacific Northwest. It does rain a lot, although you won't find us often holding umbrellas. We've got those rain jackets. So the umbrella concept, your business is your umbrella and you're holding on to it. You are not the umbrella, okay? You can separate from the umbrella at any point. You can set it down and walk away from it any point. It might blow away if you let it. But if we're holding onto our umbrella, we are ourselves, our business is separate, okay? So we don't take things personally in that way. And the rain are things you can expect. You know those are coming. So we don't complain about that. We don't complain about the weather. We know the weather's gonna be weather. Just like we're gonna have to pay for software. There's gonna be taxes. We've gotta pay for rent. We're gonna have insurance that we have to pay for. Those are sort of like the expenses and things you can count on happening. Like you're going to have no-show classes. That's all the rain. You can expect it. We have our business. It covers all of that stuff, or we allow it to. And then each little spoke on the umbrella is creating a new income stream for you. And what's really great about creating an online business, unlike in person, you've got different places you can get income, different revenue streams. So it might be online classes like Zoom classes. You might also have some digital products or an online membership library. You might do private coaching, or perhaps you host retreats. And I suppose this is the same as in person as well, like if you have retreats versus private coaching and all that. So these are different income streams. There's also, with online, you can do affiliate marketing or recommendations where you get commission. So there's a lot of different ways that you can create income. And I would say the more that you diversify it, the bigger, more robust your umbrella is going to be. And that's the umbrella method, or the umbrella, what is it called? The umbrella business concept. The other thing about this umbrella concept is because it's separate from you, you do want to separate your personal from your business. And this is another tip that I think everyone should just take in their back pocket and run with, is you need a separate email address. You need a separate bank account. You need things to be separate. Do you need to form an LLC, a legal business entity? Not necessarily. I'm not going to give you advice on that. I don't think you need to, but having insurance is helpful. Separating and acting as if you are the business that is as successful as you want it to be. And that starts with separating personal from business. It took me a while. It took me a few years to separate or create a new email address. And when I finally did, it was way better. So it's so much easier separating. I see this happen with Instagram too, where you're kind of mingling your personal and a business page. Now, I'm not saying you need 2 Instagram pages. I'm just saying when there's confusion between you and your business and you become the umbrella and you don't let go of it, even when you're inside of your house, there can be problems. So there's a whole concept for you. There's a visualization. Hopefully that's helpful. So acting like a business, and that's action. And so what are you committed to? What are you committed to? What can you commit to this week doing? Even if it is just separating or creating a new email address, or perhaps it is posting your first video wherever you'd like to post it. How can you take action this week? Just those mini steps to create the momentum and to create the confidence. Action. Okay. Second step is systems. Systems. I have a whole webinar on this I did last month, and I've got trainings on creating systems for your business. Now, this is not the how to get started, but it's part of starting, and you can start here if this is part of your action taking. It's building a simple website. Scheduling and booking software. If you need that, we're going to set that up because nobody likes the email back and forth. I know I don't. What time are you free? Well, I don't know. How about Monday? How about Tuesday? 3 o'clock? Is that East Coast time? Is that Pacific Coast? What time is that? That whole dance, let's get rid of it because it takes a lot of mental energy. It's a lot of mental load doing all that admin and back and forth. Organizing files, using things like Google Drive to make things easy. That's a big thing that I teach with my people is organization. And then building your email list, which we won't get into a lot today, but just know that it is so, so important. So a mistake people make is thinking that websites are complicated. So complicated, or you think that the software can just do it for you, or you hire someone else to do your website, costing you a pretty penny, a lot of money, and you have no idea how to update it, and you're stuck with hiring somebody to continue to make those small and simple updates. Websites nowadays are not complicated, not anymore. They used to be. But I also want to tell you the truth here is you do not need a website. You don't need a website to get your first client. You don't need a website just to test ideas or to sell something. You don't need a website to make sales. You really don't. So I agree that like a fancy website, one that's professionally designed and looks awesome on your computer, but whether or not it's mobile optimized, I don't know. A fancy website is not your starting point. The website is not your starting point. It can actually be a huge distraction and a source of procrastination when you're stuck and feeling overwhelmed. So what you do need is a clear offer. We'll get there. A clear offer, something that gets people in to your audience. So that might be an email opt-in. It might be joining a Facebook group. It might be, it's just somewhere where you can communicate with them. Usually it's something that gives you their email address, a clear offer, their email, or they're paying you. A way to talk about that offer, so how to get it out there. A way for people to pay you. You can set this up with PayPal if you wanted to, or Venmo even. And a way to follow up with them. So that's why we want their email address or, some people do text message type things and phone numbers. That's fine too. But we do want a way to contact the people that want to work with us and we want to work with them. So if you have these 4 things, you technically can start a business using a Google document and just a Stripe or PayPal link. And that's it. And an email address, of course. You don't need the fancy stuff. So your website does matter, but only if it works for you by taking off some of those admin tasks and giving you that system, the system that helps run your business. That's why I really like all-in-one systems that also do the scheduling and the booking, if you have that on there, that also have appointments and all the things needed in your business beyond just a website that is just a flat informational page. So we're looking for more beyond that. I set up my mommy's website, my mom, hairbyrosie.com. She's a hairstylist, but this is she has an appointment-based business. And this might be true for a lot of you or anyone out there who does appointments. So maybe you do massage or you do online or in-person one-on-one yoga classes. So you have an appointment-based business. It's still so much easier to take that load off your shoulders by allowing for clients to book in and for that to put it on them to book in. Also for email reminders and all the systems like email reminders, text message reminders, a way to communicate with your people. So I built my mom's website using Offering Tree. You don't have to use that though, just saying. I'll mention it, but there's a lot of other systems out there. So I built her website so her clients can self-book. Having a website also enhances her search engine optimization. So in her small town of 800 people, or maybe it's even less than that, if someone were to search hair salon or hairstylist, she's actually one of the only hairstylist that has a website. She pops up in the Google searches if you look for hairstylist in Otter Tail, Minnesota, or in Otter Tail County. So she's one of the only ones, and that helps her stand out. So this might be something for you too, that you could stand out by creating a website. Having that searchability is such a big thing. So there's been so many benefits. I talk about her a lot more in some of my other trainings on systems, but having that up has really helped her to go from teaching in a salon for minimum wage and then being let go early because there's not enough clients, to running her own 2 days a week. She rents a station in a local salon and makes her own schedule, has her own clients, has them pay, and now she makes double in a day what she did in 2 weeks. Yeah, it's awesome. So she makes, yeah, imagine. So an example, like instead of making $250 a paycheck for 2 weeks, she makes $500 in a day. Way better. She can provide a better service because all the admin work. What did she say? She's like, my website is kind of like a virtual assistant working 24/7 for me, so I don't have to be constantly on phone calls. And that's important as you start to grow. My classes for online, my yoga classes, the reason I switched to this system is they're pay what you want, and I was teaching free classes, but it's good to have options. If it's pay now or free or pay what you want, sliding scale, memberships, series, packages, all of that, especially as yoga or wellness people, we do tend to have events or classes that might need different pricing structures. And depending on your goal or what you're trying to build, whether it's a membership or a course or something, a series that you do ongoing or every quarter, it's good to have those options set up. So mine is set up with pay what you want, only because my yoga classes for me, don't worry, my free pay what you want classes are not competition for whatever you're teaching. My teaching style is very different, probably much different than yours. And it's just a simple class that I love doing. And if people feel compelled to pay something, they can. I also do want to mention, just because we're on this topic, you might think donation-based classes are great. Please stay away from using the word donation unless it is actually for a charity, because your merchant processing software, like Stripe, will deactivate your account if you're taking donations if you're not a nonprofit. So call it pay what you want or sliding scale rather than donation unless you are actually collecting money for a charity. Okay? So just a little note on that. That's your tip for the day. Hot tip on donation-based classes. In the system that I use, it's really easy for people to sign up. And that's what you want. Like 1 or 2 clicks, you find the schedule, you register, awesome. Bing, bang, boom, done. Rather than having to go back and forth or like, send me PayPal and then I'll email you. Like, we want these things to be instant. People are expecting instant gratification more than anything, so making it very easy to sign up. I also have a bunch of classes and things that are recorded. So if your dream is to do a recording or video library that's not necessarily on YouTube, there are systems for that too, and setups. And these are the types of things I walk people through in my membership and my courses on how to set up your classes if it's on Zoom, or how to create a video library, how to create a membership. Again, it depends on your goal, but you want to make it as easy as possible for your clients. And I always tell people that you need some kind of scheduling software somewhere. So some people like to use Calendly, or what are other ones? Acuity scheduling. Zoom now has a scheduling software. It's pretty inexpensive. And then I still just use OfferingTree because it's available and it's an all-in-one. But have something where people can book a call with you. You need to have you need to be able to have somewhere where you can put your availability and people can book a call, whether it's free or paid. And even just that, for consultation calls or for collaboration calls, for any kind of call, I think it's so important to have that up so that people see that you are available to work with. Whether it's sales calls, discovery calls, consultation calls, have something up. My discovery calls are currently paid because too many people are booking them, and that's a good problem to have, right? So now if you do want a discovery call with me, it's $50 for 30 minutes, and we just talk through some options of, where we can go from here, and you can ask any questions. That's not my call to action for this webinar, but it's my call to action to say you need to create this for yourself too. So remember, it's not the software or the website that's going to do the selling for you. So you might hear people say, oh, don't use OfferineTree. That's awful. And like they might think that that's great, or don't use this other software system, or that one's way too expensive, whatever it is. I use a lot of different programs and software, by the way, and none of them do the selling for you. You have to put yourself out there and explain how things work. Explain how to join. Talk to people as if they're, as if they have never been on the internet before. That's what I'll often do. I'd rather over communicate than under communicate. If you didn't watch my what did I have? The course creation, basically a masterclass in customer support. I did that with OfferineTree a couple weeks ago, offerinetree.com/webinars. Go there, and I did a webinar on course creation and what you need in your courses beyond the content. And I talked a lot about this concept. Okay, so I do recommend OfferineTree only because number one, it's really inexpensive. And number two, it has everything you need to get started. If you like a different system, no problem, but I just want to shout this out because some people, this is a great starting point. Really great starting point, offerinetree.com/ashes. You can get a 50% discount or 15% off annual. And again, not my main call to action, but I like to give more than I maybe should. So this isn't just a bunch of fluff and hype, but I'm giving you some actual steps to get started. So that's systems. What systems are you ready to implement? And obviously I talk a lot, so we are probably going to go over an hour. Feel free to come back to it and finish it later. But I'm going to keep going. We're going to talk about hype or marketing. Getting the word out, growing an audience, building a community, and connecting. You'll hear a lot of business coaches. I think anyway, I've worked with a lot of business coaches. I think it's great. Everyone has a different method. A lot of them will start here. This is your starting point. Post as much as you can to the internet. 5 posts a day, weekly YouTubes, 5 on Instagram here, daily over there, build a Facebook group. Build your audience first. I don't agree with that, but that's okay. We can agree to disagree. That's okay. But I do think that marketing is important. But what I would love for you to have first is a clear offer behind the marketing, a call to action. When you have a clear call to action, that's going to help you to grow your business faster than if you're just look at me, join, follow, and subscribe. So a clear call to action, which we'll get to. If you're overwhelmed by marketing, what we're going to do is develop your story. Develop your own personal story. How did you get to where you are? What helped you? Oftentimes who we are working with is the you of 3 to 5 years ago. So if you don't have an audience, look at where you were about 5 years ago. What were you struggling with? What were you getting started with? What problems did you overcome? And that's sort of developing your story. You're going to pick one platform, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, podcast, whatever. Pick one to grow at a time. And use it to grow your email list. Grow your email list. Call to action, join my email list. Okay, so when you're developing your story, it helps to look at pictures of you in the past. These are a lot of past pictures. Some of these are actually like 10 years old, so a lot older. But if you look at this image, would you think, wow, Ashley looks very chill. She probably teaches restorative yoga. She emanates peace. No, absolutely not. You're going to look at this and go, yeah, she probably teaches like handstands and vinyasa and like that high energy stuff. And if that's what someone's looking for, they're probably going to work with me. And that's more true. So I am much more of a high energy. I love athletics, running, races, CrossFit, handstands, all that kind of stuff. And I also teach in that way too. So I teach a power yoga class. I teach a morning yoga class that complements an active lifestyle. And that's much different than someone who is yin or restorative or whatever it is you teach. So looking like this is almost like a little mood board where you see lots of colors. For me, at least, it's lots of colors. It's smiles. It's fun. It's silly. For you, it's going to be different. So look at the pictures that represent you. If you have, hopefully you have some. Look at your old Instagram, look at whatever you want to look at to see like, where was I? What was I overcoming? What was I dealing with then? In some of these photos, I had chronic shoulder pain because of what I was doing. So, it might be yoga for shoulder pain that I'm focusing on. So you can like decide on that, right? So the next mistake people are making then after you're like, I'm developing my story, cool, I get to know me. What you end up doing is building and creating. And I've done this, I'm guilty, but you never actually invite or share people. So you build something like, I've got a website, I've got a mini course, I've got a video, and it just sits there. It looks like this. It's so lonely. It's just a wee little website just sitting there. Nothing, no one around it. It's published, sure, but it's crickets. There's nothing there. So instead, we need to invite. We need to draw people into our business. You're growing a business, you're not growing your follower count. So notice in the middle here is my website or my business or somehow to work with me. It's not my YouTube channel. My Instagram is not in the middle of this. That is not the be all end all. That's just a means to the end, which is working with me on my website or on my system that I've built so that you can join me in whatever way that is. Whether it's a payment link or an email opt-in, it needs to lead to that. Sometimes we get these flipped where we put Instagram in the middle and we direct everyone there because that's what we've been told. But again, it's another flippy flop for us here. Just like action and confidence, it's work with me, email opt-in versus social media. Flip it. So how do I get more people to join? Let's say you've got a course, you've got something you want to sell. Like, but Ashley, how do I actually get more people to join? Well, the first thing that we've already talked about is making it easy for them to sign up. Very clear and easy. I work with people who create confusion all the time. I've actually worked with one of my clients that I work with in my membership. It was so complicated to get to her membership. I'm like, hey, we got to simplify this. And then I have another one-on-one client who she was wondering why nobody joined her course that she was doing. And so we walked through her sign-up process and I was like, I am personally so confused at how to actually get to where I want to go. This stops so many people. So making it as clear as possible, easy as possible for people to sign up. Sometimes that's easier said than done, but keep that in mind. The second is focus on serving rather than selling. And also focus on the fact that you're helping people, not what you're going to get from it. A lot of us are stuck in that, well, I don't know if people are going to want to work with me, or I don't think I have an audience for that. It's not about you. It's about your student, the person, the one person. And in my mind, I've always thought, because I teach yoga the reason I got into teaching yoga was because I wanted to help people with depression, and my dad died from suicide about 13 years ago, and I was like, I don't want people doing that. Let's get rid of that. So my goal was, if I can help one person avoid that outcome and help them to gain happiness, to gain their life back, then my work will be all worth it. So one person, I think if I can help that one, maybe you're that one person that I'm talking to. And that's amazing. I'm not trying to be like, well, not everybody likes me. I don't care if not everybody, no, I hope not everybody likes me. That's great. Go find the person you need to work with. But focusing on the one person, the person on the other side that may need that message. And keeping that in mind, again, switching that mindset where it's not about you, it's about them. And how can I help them? And then the third thing is to invite as often as possible. More than you think you should. If you're not running paid ads, you've got to be talking about it. So that might mean posting more. And it might mean posting until you get annoyed that you're posting so much. But guess what? The people who are seeing it are either going to unfollow or they're going to join you. So you got to keep posting about it. Just like I do these trainings, I'm going to do them over and over again with confidence and clarity, of course. So with promotions, the 5 types of promotions, we're going to cover 2 of them. But the 5 types of promotions that I help people through is passive promotion, active promotion, collaborations, launches, and paid ads. Okay, I don't do a lot of paid ads help. That's not my focus. There's a lot of great coaches out there for that. But I will talk about organic promotions for now, because everyone has people they know, and everyone has people they know that also know more people. So that's where the collaborations are helpful. But we'll talk about passive and active just for this training, because otherwise it gets to be too long. So if you remember that little $27 ebook I mentioned, that was my introductory product. Or maybe I have a little PDF that's free. Actually, I do. ashesyoga.com/guide, free 10-step PDF to sequencing a yoga class. Cool. So I actually turned this ebook into a mini course. Mini course is also a great introductory product. It's not too intense. It's something I pre-recorded. I just recorded it and now I sell it and I've got over 1,000 people in it, but it's a little $37 mini course called Focused Flow. It's got 3 videos, it's got some PDFs, it's got some handouts. Cool, awesome. It's an easy yes because it's great value and it's a low price. So I take that thing and I post a link to it, whatever it is, my introductory product, not this big 10-week system course or whatever, but like my introductory thing. I will share it in all of the places that I'm able to update a bio about page or anywhere that passively someone might happen upon. I want everybody to know confidently that this is what I do. So the link is going to be in my bio. It's going to be in my Instagram, like you're going to say it in your Instagram thing. It's going to be on every description of my YouTube videos. It's going to be in my Facebook profile bio. It's going to be in my intro of my Facebook page. Maybe you have a group, whatever you have. And I know all of us have emails, right? You have an email. And if you haven't created a business one, you should still go do that. And again, it doesn't have to be a business one. It can be a second personal email address that's attached to you and your business shenanigans. Screenshot of this. So default email signature. That's the one thing you can take action on right now too, is put your website or put your Instagram in your email signature. So my email signature, bottom middle, you see it, it says Ashley Hagen, Ash's Yoga LLC. That's my business. I'm the creator of Focus Flow. That's my little workshop, and Ash's Academy, my membership. So both of those are hyperlinked to go to those places if someone happened upon it. And then I have another call to action that I have free 6 a.m. yoga classes. Here's the link, and then find me on Instagram. So I actually have 4 different links there that people can click on, whatever they want, and that's in my email signature. So that's a great place to start if you're like, I don't know about social media. Update your email signature, and that's something that can automatically populate. If you don't know how, you can Google that. How do I add an email signature? So that's your passive promotion. It's putting your links everywhere, the introductory link everywhere you might go. And what I found with this, when I go to yoga teachers, like if I go to any of your, if anyone wants, we can look at this. If anyone wants to put their Facebook profile, Facebook page in here, and I can check. Sometimes I do that. I will check if you've got, if I know where to go, if I can tell what you do. And so often, a lot of, especially yoga teachers, don't have a clear path to how to work with you. I don't know how to work with you. I don't know how to get started. It's hidden. You're hiding it. It's not just about the posts. It's what you present in your profiles. And then on your website, when and if you do create one, and I hope you do, and it's something very simple, I have my main call to action in at least 3, if not 4 places on my homepage of my website. Not just one place, not hidden at the bottom. It's not a hidden, like at the bottom you can join my email list. Nope, it's at the top in the banner. It's in the menu bar. It's the first button that you see. It's highlighted, it's pink, it's colorful, and I want people to see it. I want to actually confidently share that I've got this thing for you. A clear start here button. And this is what I'm working on with a lot of the clients in my membership, is having that clear start here button. If someone goes to your website, rather than just be invited to take a Zoom class, where's the actual start here? What can someone do even before that? Then we get to active promotion. This is unlike passive where you just set it up and let it sit. Active promotion is actively posting. Yep. You get to pick a platform. My favorite's YouTube, honestly, but you can pick Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, blogs, podcasts. You know, there's a lot of places. There's long form content and short form content. We don't have to get into all the specifics. Just pick a place. In my YouTube course, which is a whole separate thing, which I'm not going to get into, but I do have this concept called the content tree method, and for promotions and for advertising. And it goes along with that introductory product that you have. Let's say, whatever it is, join my email list, get your free guide, here's a mini course, here's a free class, that kind of thing. That's going to be the main thing you're drawing people to. And it should be on your website, just like that little lonely website. This is the same. Your intro product is with your little lonely website. But instead of just leaving it there and hoping people find it passively. You also create content that always directs down the trunk of the tree and to that introductory product. And not only are these pieces of content directing to your intro product, but they also interweave and direct to each other. So that's a big reason I like YouTube, is it's easy to create binge-worthy content where once you have a video, you can also direct it to another one and another one. And we've got these 5-10 minute videos, not long ones, but 5-10 minute videos that lead all over the place and also all lead to the business. Not just building YouTube to build a video library, but to build it to get into your website, onto your email list. Okay, so all funnels down. And I also have a Pinterest pin on here too. So Pinterest is great too. Awesome. Pick one, learn about it, go with it. I've always had the most success when I pick one platform and do it one at a time. So you might see I've got a YouTube channel, a large Facebook group, a couple of them, and an Instagram channel. All that, awesome. They all have pretty good numbers. They were built one at a time, not all at the same time. Okay, so here's a question. Here's another pop quiz for you. How many pieces of content currently lead to your intro offer? 0? 1, 2, 3? A lot? It'd be great if there was. I mean, how many pieces of content lead to your intro offer? And I know for some of you, you're like, I don't have an intro offer. We'll get there. You'll get there. I hope you do, because people got to find you somehow. So that's hype. And good marketing starts with a strong start here call to action. What is your call to action? Join, fill in the blank. Here's the link. You got to make it very clear and direct, much like yoga teaching. You don't say, well, maybe, we are going to come to the top of our mat, so you might step your right foot forward, or maybe you'll step your left foot forward if I invite you to, but if you don't want to, it's okay. You can stay where you're at in your own time. Like, you could teach that way, and some methods do teach very invitational, and that's okay. Like, I leave it up to you, but the more direct you are, the more people are going to actually take that step. Step your right foot forward. Done. Join my email list. Done. Be direct. So what's your strong call to action? And then elevate is the next one. We've got 2 more. We're just going to keep going through it. I tend to talk more and more each time I present this. Elevate. This is like twofold. This is also elevating to act like a business, act like the CEO of your business. That's what you're going to see in the workbook. And if you don't have the workbook, I'm going to pop it in the chat again. Elevate in the workbook is talking about acting like the CEO of your business. The other side of it is you're going to create bigger offers, bigger things, memberships, courses, bigger programs, upsells, email sequences. You might even do a launch. You might even host your own webinar. I think that'd be awesome. I teach people to do that too. This is one of my favorite methods of marketing, is to do a free class or training. So I've worked with a bunch of people who end up creating amazing courses. These are actually many years old, so I think these people have moved on to other things, but it was still such a great experience to have, to build these types of courses, because it could lead to the next thing or the next thing, or maybe they refine it and do something different. So we've got virtual meditation series, beginner-friendly yoga, mindful stretch program, yoga for back care and better posture. And so you get to decide what it is that you'd like to teach. And when it comes to niche, I know that's like a buzzword, niche or niche, you're not niching you as a business, you're niching a product or an offer. So you could be a yoga teacher, Pilates, Hatha yoga, all the things, but your offer needs to be highly specific. The little spoke on the umbrella needs to be niche. And that's what's going to be the specificity that's needed. So if you're working on creating a program for the next 90 days or something like that, you as a business don't have to become beginner-friendly yoga. It's just what you're offering, and that's the main thing you're offering at the moment. So no need to put yourself in a box, but your program or your offer needs to be in a box. This is Deanna. She's awesome. She's on Instagram, Deanna Brywick. Did she change her name? She did get married recently. So she joined, actually she didn't even join my membership. She's in it now, but before she did create an online yoga course. It's this little course I sold for $97. It's part of my membership. And in the past she had done a bigger, like multi-thousand-dollar course on course creation, and it was so overwhelming. So she came into my mini course on course creation, and she had a $10,000 launch, which actually turned into $17,000 because it was just a lot easier, simpler, taking out all the fluff and all the things. So she just followed those steps. So she has since then, this was a couple years ago, she's since then created many other programs because she is an opera singer. She's an opera singer that teaches breath work and yoga type things to other singers. So that's her audience. It's so specific. I love it. And she's her voice is amazing. You should check her out on Instagram. She's just amazing. But as an opera singer, her income is based on different gigs that she's doing. She travels around. So, and sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, sometimes she's on a break. So having something in the backside of her business that is running and working with clients and people who follow her is so helpful for creating more of a level income or a more sustainable business model, especially as time goes on. I'm not sure how long, just like teaching yoga, how long can you really be in it doing the thing when now she's teaching others and she's paying it forward, but also creating a really solid business around that. And then Alejandro, he is from Spain, and he created a membership. So he came into my membership and was in for only 4 or 5 months, which totally fine, totally great, because he got what he wanted and he like went with it. He just took off. So he came in, and his goal as an in-person yoga teacher, he had a studio in the past, had done a lot of managing of studios. His whole family is into yoga, meditation, and philosophy type stuff, but he really wanted an online system to create for his students. And so he decided to launch a membership. He created his website, launched a membership in both Spanish and English. And when he got 21 or 24 people in Spanish and like 4 people in English, he decided to just go all in Spanish, which again, totally makes sense. So this applies not just for those of us in the United States, but also in really anywhere in the world. Because when you teach online, you're not limited to your local demographic anymore. You can decide what language, what demographic, who you want to reach. And so he could reach people, any Spanish speakers can come and join his membership, right, for yoga. So he's created a membership with class replays, online Zoom classes. I think he does weekly classes, and is now he just ran with it. He's doing awesome. I'm so proud of him because I remember him starting from scratch, and I'm just like, oh, this is so great. So this was his site is on OfferingTree. It doesn't have to be. Once again, choose a system that works for you. And that is Elevate. So what's your elevated offer idea? Also, how can you show up as a CEO of your own business? And the last one, this is very simple. It's either to scale or simplify. You're going to automate things, expand. You might expand. You add partnerships. Go bigger, collaborate, do more. You might delegate, need to hire help. I've done that a few times. I had someone helping me with my emails. I had someone helping me with a couple other things. I just hired a tax accountant, so that's good. So hiring doesn't mean, employees. It could also mean just help in different ways. And then implementing AI. And that's something that many of us maybe have done. I don't think it's great to implement AI or like ChatGPT in the things you should be doing, but in some ways that can help offset some of the admin tasks, right? So this is what it ends up feeling like once you get all the balls rolling. You're like, wait a second, I don't have 20 arms. And this little yoga girl that I placed on top of the guy with all the arms, she should probably not be smiling. She's probably like, I don't know what I'm doing. So to get a little bit of help or to simplify. Now, my goal is not to build a multi-million-dollar business. I don't have a need for that. I also don't want a bunch of employees to manage. I love my little simplified business life. So it might mean creating just some automations. This is a funnel. Look at that. We've got a different email. This is an email funnel. So learning about funnels, which means automated emails. Like an email will go out an hour after you signed up for something, a day later. If they get tagged here, then this happens. And these can be really, really helpful. And there's a lot of systems out there that will run these for you when you set them up. It does take work up front. It's not automatically passive. It takes a little work to do, but we can do that work. And I know you can too. We can do that work. Also setting up things that make it simple, like ManyChat. If you are an Instagram user, ManyChat is direct message automations. So like on Instagram, I said, comment the word start and I'll send you the link. And as soon as you commented the word start, it automatically sends you the link to join this training. And that's done with ManyChat. It's not super cheap though. But that's something, again, as you scale or as you grow and as you need a little bit more help, it might be easy to do your own messages on Instagram, but there will get to be a time where you're like, it's just a little bit too much for me, which ends up being a champagne problem. Like, cheers to that, good problems to have, but now let's find a way to simplify. So scaling, going above and beyond, doing a little bit more, hiring help, and there's a lot of different ways you can do that. Again, many paths to the same place. So this is where we revise, we check in and decide what do we need to do to grow or simplify and turn this into what we want. And that's the 5th step. In what ways would you like to scale or simplify your business? And that is the 5-step system. I've definitely gone over time here, but there's some of you still on, so that's amazing. But we are going to talk about teaching online a little bit more, and I'm going to go into more of an invitation and see if the next steps, what the next steps you want, the next steps that you might want to happen for you. So teaching online, I think it's amazing. There's, again, many paths to growing a business, and I love sharing this step by step. It can really transform your whole life in business. I believe, of course, if you've been here this whole time and you're like, I get it, I see it, I'm interested. You really do have what it takes. If I can do it, I think you can do it too. And it's something you can get started with right now. So with online teaching, whether it's yoga or another method, there's so much that it offers. Flexibility, is that what you're looking for? Flexible time, schedule, scalability, you want to go bigger. There's no limit. There's no hours for dollars, especially with online courses. You get more of a steady income. Memberships are great for that. Creative freedom, impact, low overhead cost. That's a big one too. When I owned a studio, the rent, I'm not going to say it was cheap because it was not. Renting a building and all the insurances and all those things. Although, studio ownership is lovely and working in your local community, amazing, but it is also expensive. It is. And typically yoga studio owners do it for the love of it, not to make a lot of money. And the more money you make though, the more impact we can make. So making money is not a negative thing. It's the energy that goes around and comes around. So we're not giving away things all for free, unless it truly is just a hobby. We can turn it into a business. And the biggest reason I do this is the work-life balance, where I can make time for family, travel, and rest. So after this, I'm actually going to some yoga workshops with DJ Taz Rashid. So excited. So there's different things you can do. You have the opportunities to make that time, to be more flexible. I always get to drop off my kids at school and pick them up. I don't need after school daycare hours, and it just creates that nice flexibility. But it does also take hard work. Okay, so I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not an overnight success. My business has built, like, if you see my hand here, like it's a slow, steady incline, not this huge, not a roller coaster. And if you want a roller coaster business, go ahead and sell a high ticket offer with sales calls. Go ahead. You go do that. Enjoy that life. It can work. It works really well. People will teach you how to do that. Go find a coach that teaches you to do that. That's not me. So the obvious question, I really don't like sales calls, so I don't like to be pushy. So the obvious question though is, how can you start teaching online and make it a sustainable business? So you've got a choice. You can take what you learned today, I gave you some tips and starting points, and go slow, and like extra slow, go turtle pace, but you're still gonna get there. You'll get to the finish line at some point through trial and error. It's sort of what I did until I hired a business coach and took a training. So take some of what I've given you here today, or you can join a super fun and fabulous community with a lot of coaching and courses inside Ashes Academy. And Ashes Academy is my membership that we've got over 200 people in it now, but the calls are still pretty small, like 6, 7, 8 people. Coaching calls, courses. All you have to do is follow the steps. Like I said, I'm a really step-by-step, implement, check the box type of person. That's what I want to give to you. So on the inside, there's step-by-step coaching inside the courses you get instant access to. coaching as in Zoom calls. We do weekly Zoom calls, and a great community where I'm always asking, what is it that you need? What are we working on? Lately, I've been asking a lot more questions about course creation because that has come up a lot more. And I'm happy to create a theme for the next few months around course creation. So it is a membership that's ongoing. And what is it exactly? It includes a course library, lots of courses. Most people who join are like, I had no idea how many courses were in here. It's overwhelming. But guess what? We also get to talk about your starting point. So there's a clear path and there's some materials that will help you with that path. And I help you literally step by step. So along with the growing community of smart and savvy teachers, you'll also get you'll get that along with the community, meaning a Facebook group, all that stuff. So if you're wanting to teach from your living room, or this is I think this used to be a garage. It's a playroom now. It's the playroom. If you saw what was in front of me, I tell you, behind me, you're seeing ooh, pretty yoga. But in front of me, I'm seeing Hot Wheels cars out the wazoo. So you can teach from anywhere. Waking up to payment notifications, feeling confident because you're taking action and getting clear on your next steps. Maybe you're looking forward to having an email list full of people excited to hear about you. I have an entire course that's on email list building that will give you the full ins and outs. It's I think there's 27 lessons in it. Just do a step by step. If you want to record classes once and get paid for it again and again, like a membership library, I have training on that as well. Or just simply build a business of your own design that supports you and your schedule. It's not me telling you this is exactly what to do and the only way to do it. There are a few different paths, but here's some starting points for you to take. So inside you get courses, community, and the coaching. The courses included are the basic yoga business from home. It will then pull you out of that course and take you through the other ones. So that's the basic one, but then there's, hey, stop here, go through wellness website in a week. If you don't have a website, or if you want to get that started. Hey, stop here and go through email list building. Oh, are you looking to launch something? You've got a course? Go through Learn to Launch. You don't have a course created or don't have something? Go through Create an Online Yoga Course. Oh, you want a membership? On-demand video library membership. So these are the things I've pulled out based on, and I've taught based on years of seeing what the struggles were with online yoga teachers. So lots of different starting points. I know you're like, but wait, I need the very first one. Usually it's just hitting join. So joining. So I do have this infographic I've made that starts with, book a welcome call with me. Have you logged in successfully? Great, you know where things are. Do you have a website? Yes or no? Is it optimized? Yes or no? And then it walks you through where you need to start. And that's what we do in our welcome call. And it's better with friends. I love this community. I love the co-working sessions we get on. We get to chit chat sometimes, but also we work really hard. So we set goals and we go for it. So how much is it going to cost to join? This is not a high ticket thing. Okay, you could hire me one-on-one. It's like $3,000 if you wanted to. We could do one-on-one. You want to work with me for 16 weeks, text message access, Zoom calls, cool, $3,000. But it's not that. But the real question is, what are you going to be paying to learn all this by yourself? Usually it's a lot of time, confusion, a lot of jumping from webinar to webinar, from free training to free training, trying to figure out if it's the best fit for you. Or you could join us. It's designed to support you over time, as in join for a year, and that's a year is the best, at least a year, and then decide if you want more. Lifetime or annual option is the best, although it is a monthly membership. Because if you're hesitant, if you're on the fence, if you're like, I don't really know, I just want to try it, I want to welcome you in too. I'm not the person who's going to say, you got to be all in, take out our credit card. No, I don't want to do that because I'm here to help you. And I'm doing the same thing I told you to do earlier in this is I want to serve you. I'm thinking of you on the other side, who was me probably 5 or 10 years ago. What would have I wanted? And it definitely wasn't a $5,000 program. So inside you also get some bonuses. You get a welcome call with me, a 30-minute welcome call, me and you chit-chatting about life and your goals, and also making sure you've got access and a starting point. Weekly coaching calls. Sometimes they're Q&A, sometimes they're topic-based. And then the Creator Club, those are fun. That's a monthly content creation workshops. Last month or last one was on Instagram carousels we created. And then we've done one on like creating workbooks and postcards and all that. So it's more like the extra. So you get a little bonus, a little extra with that, the Creator Club. Emily is one of our long-term members. And when she first joined, she literally had no idea about design or tech stuff. She's doing amazing, by the way. Her YouTube channel is popping. So this was written a while back, but she created her website, didn't really have any idea what she was doing. She had one, but it wasn't very good. So then she took my Wellness Website in a Week course, and she got her website revamped within a couple of weeks, so 2 weeks to complete it. And then of course, she's saying, walking her through step by step, every step of the way. The coaching calls are a huge help. And then she's also joined my YouTube course and some other things along the way as well. And she continues to grow and teach her chair yoga classes. She teaches yoga. She does speaking engagements she's a nurse or was a nurse. So she does speaking engagements for wellness conferences, and all sorts of really great things. Lots of things has happened with Emily, and you can check out her website at emilydougherty.com. Rebecca, same thing, or similar thing. She created a website a year ago and had no idea how to do it. So I walk you through it step by step. Very easy to follow steps. And from colors, fonts, photos, schedules, all the things. And that's not just websites. That's also content creation. That's also other things that you're going to be creating, like courses. So a website's just one of the things that you're going to learn. So inside, I do sell some of these courses separately. Some of them I don't sell separately, but if I did, here's the prices of them. It's a total value of like almost $4,000 or more. But inside, the regular price, if you're not here with me today, the regular price on my website, you can join anytime. It's $1,500 for lifetime access or $97 month to month. That's regular price. For you, because you're here and you've signed up for this and you've invested a little bit of your time already, you can join for $47 a month. That's the rate for those who join me on a webinar or a free training. And that rate does not change. It's not going to go up. It's not just for the first month, it's all the time. Or if you wanted to do an annual payment, save a little bit. Yes, I'm all in for the first year, $450. Yay! Awesome. And there really is no commitment either. Again, I don't want you to feel like you're stuck. And if your life shifts, as a lot of people's lives will shift at some point, say I'm no longer teaching or I don't need this right now, there's no commitment and you can cancel at any time. So even if you're in just for the first month and you do a welcome call with me, get started and give it a try. Now, I would love it if you did go a little bit more in, but sometimes it's not how life goes. So I get it. I understand. And I want to provide something that can be of value for you. And so if you're not using it, no problem, but I hope that you do. So if you dream of working from home, I know I did. Like, I just want to work from home or from anywhere as a yoga teacher in business for yourself, you might consider Ashes Academy. Might just be what you need. So how do you join? Why do I always forget to do this? Give you the sales page link. There we go. And I'll also email it to you. So you do have a few days to decide. I'm not going to tell you have to join now. I don't have any fast acting bonuses like right now, but I do have a deadline. So a deadline to join, because I like to welcome in people each week so we can get on our welcome calls. Right now it's Tuesdays or Thursdays, but I like to welcome in a few people each week so that I can help you get started and give you the most support that I can. So you can click the link to enroll, submit your payment, pick a payment method. Maybe it's monthly, maybe it's annual, or you can do lifetime. There's a big discount on lifetime as well. I forget what it was, but it's on the sales page. Go ahead and check your email. You get a lot of emails. It'll say you're enrolled in all the courses, but really look for that welcome email from me. The one that says, you're in, welcome to Ashes Academy. Here are your next steps. You join the Facebook group, book your welcome call, and we get started. Yay. So if there are any other questions, I know we're almost on for an hour and a half. Ooh, got too long, but hey, you're still here. That's awesome. And whether you're here because you're interested in joining, or you're still here because you're like, I just want to see what she's talking about. I want to do a webinar one day, so I need to join as many as I can. Awesome. I'm like, again, welcome in whoever. So that is the inside. If you decide to join, I've got the link there. Thank you for joining. Thank you for staying here. We still have a few people on. Happy to see you. And the replay will be sent out very soon. So get your workbook, download it. It's in the chat, just one link up. Get the workbook. Maybe you start by filling that out. I'm going to send you an email. Thank you so much. Yay! Anything else? I know we've had questions in the past on like YouTube and other things that are off topic, but that's okay. Thank you. Anyone have a takeaway? What's your biggest takeaway? Take action. Feel free to comment your biggest takeaways or just thank yous. Thanks for being here. Will I do this again? Probably. Will I do this webinar again? Probably. I'm trying to do this weekly. Sometimes less. Just depends on the schedule, you know? All right. See you guys later. I'll hit the end button now. Thanks.